Hi, I'm Trooper Smacka.
Hi, I'm Trooper Wellman,
Please stay tuned for a behind-the-scenes look at being a state trooper.
and together we can make a difference.
Here we are live at the 360.Vegas studios with Trooper Wellman for another edition of Trooper Talk. Trooper Wellman, so we were talking and I wanted to get this on camera. So one of my guys works for a company that does alarms. And so he drives around, for people that have a burglar or whatever, right? And so he said that on New Year's Eve, everybody was on the freeway and they stopped their cars, right?
To watch the fireworks?
To watch the fireworks. The reason I bring that up is because we are getting to the time now where with the football games, remember people used to stop on the freeway, and we talked about that.
Yes.
Stopping on the freeway is not valid.
No, it is illegal. It's an unlawful stop, stand, or park. If you're going to use the shoulder, it has to be for an emergency, or if you're having, vehicle difficulties, you have to activate your hazard lights if possible. And it's also for emergency vehicles to get through traffic.
And so he said he was on the freeway, trying to get to a call, and he said he didn't understand. Like all these cars were just on the side of the road, and they're all like, and he...
Yeah, and somebody, if they're not paying full attention and they see all these cars lined up on the side of in the shoulder, they may mistakenly take that as a travel lane, causing crashes and things like that. It happens quite often, and so yes, it is not okay to stop in the shoulder and spectate, or unless your vehicle is having issues or you're having an emergency, or
Yeah, not allowed,
things.
right?
Not allowed.
Let's talk about you. So I didn't see your name in the newspaper. I didn't see your picture anywhere this weekend. I mean, I don't know, one person that gets arrested for DUI is too many.
Correct.
But I didn't see anything that was bad from you.
Right. So we had, as an agency, Nevada State Police alone down here in Southern Command, we had 25 impaired drivers taken off the road this holiday, which is good. We got those drivers off the road. We also had 3 wrong ways. We don't want any impaired drivers, and we don't want any wrong way drivers. But the fact that we didn't have any fatalities is a success, right?
Right.
So, I mean, it's okay to celebrate, and it was a success. Nobody lost their life from our agency because we were out there in numbers. We were out there doing our job, out there serving our public, making sure we were getting these impaired drivers off the road
Right.
to prevent harming themselves or anybody else that was here just to celebrate the new year. So, in a way, it's a success, right?
Yeah, 100%. And you're out in full force, right? I mean, like on that day,
Yes.
the weekend and the whole thing, right?
Yes.
And so maybe people really listened.
We can hope, right? No matter what, there's always going to be those people that are irresponsible and don't value their life or others,
Right.
and are going to make that decision to get behind the wheel. And that's why we're out there, to prevent them from hurting themselves or anyone else. And we got 25 of them off the road. Some troopers I talked to, there was multiple troopers that had 3 DUI arrests just from that one trooper alone, So we're short-staffed, but we're out there doing the best we can. Some people were getting 3 impaired drivers off the road, and that's wild to think about. We don't want any impaired drivers, especially with all the resources we have out there. There's no excuse.
No excuse.
But I am very grateful that we did not have any fatalities.
Yeah, I mean, I think that when we look at, as big as Las Vegas is, how many hundreds of thousands of people that we had.
Yeah, we anticipated 350,000 people came to town.
350,000. I mean,
Yeah.
right? Like
Yeah.
a stadium is 70,000.
It's crazy.
Right. So the thing is that for what we did, there's always going to be a few.
Yeah.
And so I looked, I was really, really proud. I was like, okay, this is the start of the new year.
Yes.
And it's positive. And so, we'll talk about it further in the pictures and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
I just wanted you to know that I thought it was great. And, I know you don't want the publicity. And so you're like, yeah, okay, that's great. You know what I mean?
But our officers, our troopers, they were out there and they did amazing. So
amazing, right?
Yes.
We got new pictures.
Yeah,
New
I like
year,
it.
right? So we're going to switch it up a little bit. Unfortunately, we have comrades that have lost their lives
Yep.
and given up. And the important thing is that we never forget, so we always want to show. Hopefully we can fulfill this picture over here, right?
Yeah.
I spoke to Anne, and, maybe soon.
Yep.
We get her in, and
That's
she
the
can
goal.
talk all about the stuff. And
Awesome.
it's important that this year that we continue what we're doing. And I spoke to Sergeant Smacka, right? And it's great to see everyone fulfilling what they're doing.
Yeah.
And so when it comes to what we're doing together, I think it's great.
I do too.
I think it's cool, and I'm excited for what the new year has. Okay?
As am I. Thank you.
So Johnny did some things here, and so let's see what we got for some pictures. Don't start 2022 by getting pulled over for impaired driving.
Yep. So as we were talking, we had just our agency alone had 25 DUI arrests for the New Year's Eve night, or I should say from the night of the day, New Year's Day is what I was trying to say. And when you think about that, 25 impaired drivers, like one is too many, and we had 25.
25.
And I know that the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department also had 25 impaired drivers that they took off the road. So now we're at 50 impaired drivers. It's not only expensive that you just messed up your driving record, but now your insurance is probably going up. If you got in a crash or anything, you have to look at legal fees. The average DUI, after everything's said and done, is around $10,000. As well as now it's on your record. So when you apply for jobs, and the biggest one is you possibly would have fatal consequences if you hurt somebody else or yourself, and it's just not worth it in the big picture. So just always plan ahead and be responsible.
And now one of the things that I know is that where Las Vegas Metropolitan Police, can pull you over on the highway, and I see them every once in a while in the whole thing, right? Primarily, Nevada Highway Patrol is on the highway. And so there was a famous football player who just got arrested for DUI because he fell asleep at the steering wheel.
Yes.
Okay. But that's different from somebody that's on the freeway that is traveling at 55, 65, 75, whatever, and is impaired. And so, not that we want to compare, but what I'm saying is that for the Nevada Highway Patrol, that's more scary because that's somebody that is on a freeway and is zipping along.
Yeah, we always talk about how a vehicle is a weapon.
Yeah.
Right, because it's so much weight and force against another object that's why it's fatal consequences. But not talking about that case specifically, but just in general, let's say somebody is behind the wheel and they're sleeping or, they're highly intoxicated and they've passed out. If you are in actual physical control of your vehicle, you can be arrested for driving under the influence. And some people may not understand that if they're sleeping in their car, but their car's running and they're in the driver's seat, you have to understand that you still have the ability to drive in your vehicle, even though your intentions are to not drive. And that is ultimately up to the discretion of the officer and all of the evidence and just all the surrounding circumstances that will dictate that situation. But just don't even put yourself in that situation.
Yeah. And that's the scary part, is that people are putting themselves into situations when they have ulterior things to be able to do. And so, the scary part about the DUIs, and it is always scary, I didn't go for a drive on Sunday, and the reason, because I didn't know who was going to be on the road.
Yeah.
And so my wife says to me, listen, how do it's like Sunday morning, people are, partying from Saturday night. What are you going to do when somebody's on the road?
We had 3 reported wrong ways that night from just our agency alone. And so it's not if there was going to be a wrong way or a danger coming towards me, it was when. And so I was ready to, to activate my lights and siren and initiate the traffic stop if there was a potential threat. But luckily, I made it home safely. But yeah, everything you feel, I feel it too.
Yeah, it's very, very scary.
Yeah.
And so, I left work and, went home on Saturday night and, you know what I mean? Like, and just thankful to be home. Right.
Agreed.
And sent
Very, very
everybody texts and
grateful.
said, just be safe out there, And I was so thankful that when I came into work that there was nothing. And so
Me
I
too.
just want to express that again. I know I keep talking about it, but
No.
it's really important. And if we had one thing to do with it, if somebody listened
Yeah.
to this, or got your tweet, or it's just I'm just really thankful.
I completely agree.
As a city, so it really excited me. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
me too. I see a lot of death, especially in this position, and to wake up and have the whole weekend with my family and not
Yeah.
have to think, oh my gosh, someone lost their life. Like it's amazing.
Amazing.
It was
So
great.
It's very positive. You know what I
Yes.
mean? Unfortunately, not everyone got to sleep in their own beds. There were several
Oh, yes.
reservations made at Clark County Detention Center. There were 32 early bird check-ins for DUI. So when let's talk about something. A person is pulled over and then you do your investigation, and then after your investigation, they're found on suspicion of DUI or whatever the charge is, right? And so at that point, then that person is transported to the detention center or whatever it is, right?
Correct. Yes.
So from that point, forgetting any money, like, you know what I mean? Like the stress of now you're in the back of a police car for what, an hour or two?
No, we try to get them there relatively quickly just because you're in handcuffs, you know.
All right, so 30, 45 minutes?
Yes,
All
give
right.
or take.
But then they get there. It's not like, oh, okay, you're in there for 5 minutes and have a good day, right?
Right. No, the minimum time frame if you are arrested for impairment is 12 hours. Minimum that you will be in the detention facility 12 hours. There.
So after your distress from the police, and you're like, now you got pulled over, and you went through this whole thing, and now you're there, and you're there 12 hours at a minimum.
Yeah, if not longer.
And so phone calls and this, and I don't even know. I mean, I'm just saying that's a stressful thing in
Oh,
itself.
100%. As well as if you're arrested on a weekend, there's no judges usually there in the morning, so you're going to have to wait until Monday to see a judge to even discuss your case, to get a court date, to be released early possibly, or... Yeah, I mean, it's a lot. It's a long process, and it's basically like adult timeout, right?
Right, and that's
And you're not supposed to
right.
like jail. That's the
Right.
point, because otherwise, you don't want to go back. That's the whole point. So
So if we tell people how bad it is,
it's
and I know
bad.
that you pride yourself on having the best car in the back when somebody's in there, that it's like has a little bit of comfort. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, you're still in handcuffs, and
Oh,
it's not comfortable.
It's not comfortable. It is a traumatic event for you. Your rights are being taken from you. You have no say. Like the officer is now transporting you to a facility, and you have no say because of the crime you committed. And so it's an uncomfortable feeling. We take pride in being the land of the free, in the United
that's
States,
right,
and
exactly.
it's like, so it's a very unfamiliar feeling for us to experience that. But ultimately, if you make the right decisions, then you won't have to ever experience that.
And it's trauma for sometimes people in the car with you.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And so, this is one of the things that we also want to stress, the fact that, you don't want to be there.
Oh, the food's nasty. It's not like you're getting to bed in a blanket. Like, you're sitting there. A lot of time it's cold. And, I mean, it's, no.
It's just a place you don't want to be.
Correct.
How about this one? Prohibited items, glass bottle strollers, large bags and backpacks.
Yeah, so our strip, we don't allow glass bottles anyway on the regular, but if you can see in the background right there, there's so many people. It's like a sea of ants. Like, it's just, at some point, it's just like a blur of like little moving objects because it's so many people. So
And it always excites me to see all the interagency things, and I know that it was safe.
yeah,
And so that's one of the things that we can look forward to, that we can take with us to next year, is the
Exactly.
fact that we did everything the best that we could and that we were safe. And so I don't know what happened with the COVID numbers and all that,
yeah.
but from a protection standpoint, nothing to do with a virus.
Yeah.
That's what we can do, and so I thought it was great.
Me too.
Yeah. Okay, so a certain car was under a truck, and we talked last time on the Trooper Talk
Yes.
about a certain car that went under a Amazon.
So this was a Dodge Hellcat, so it's fast. It's a Charger.
Fast.
Very, very fast car. And with that, it comes a lot of responsibility because, I mean, being someone that drives fast cars, like, they take off quickly, and you got to be
Yeah.
able to control it if you're going to be driving one.
Yeah.
This individual was not impaired, but the car got away from him, and he failed to maintain his travel lane, resulting in a crash that could have potentially really hurt him or someone else. Luckily, he sustained moderate injuries,
Yeah.
and nothing life-threatening, which is good. But yeah, he lost control, failed to maintain his travel lane, and ultimately went underneath a trailer of an Amazon truck.
Right.
So anytime the first thing I hear is semi-truck, I instantly think, oh my goodness, it's going to be significant injuries, or
Yeah.
we're going to have roadway closures for a long period of time, or possibly fatality, right? So this was a very fortunate event that nobody sustained very serious injuries, and but unfortunately his car did not.
Yeah.
His car sustained the worst probably, and
That's
I think
cool.
people's packages did get delayed just a little bit.
Yeah. That's a good one. The thing is that it doesn't matter what kind of car you drive, but with a car that has a lot of horsepower and, things of that nature, there does become an inherent responsibility because they can get away from you
Yeah.
very fast.
Yeah, and as technology is progressing, our cars drive smoother. Sometimes you're just driving and you don't even realize how fast you're going, and it's
Yeah.
because technology is progressing, and,
Yeah.
and you got to just be conscious of it.
Yeah, you just got to be conscious of it. So we're thankful that he's safe
Yes, very thankful, and thankful that nobody
it's-
else was injured.
and that it's only metal, but
Correct.
Who knows when he'll get it back now because of the whole thing and
The
they have
delay,
To get oh
yeah.
man, he's really mad.
Yeah. This is Mount Charleston.
Okay, this is a very big problem.
Yes. So it was winter break, and that is our busiest weekend up at the mountain, especially the day after New Year's Eve. And weather was beautiful. It was sunny skies, but yet cold enough to have snow. It was fantastic for a family day to get out there, decompress, and have a good time. But with that, it is very busy, and there is not a lot of parking up at the mountain. So we always recommend people, if you're not up there by at least 9 a.m., you're probably not going to get a spot. If your car is over that white fog line on each side, if your tires are parked over it, this was to let people know they were going to be ticketed and or towed. So these roadways have to be clear, not only for the motoring public to get through, but it's for emergency vehicles. There's an emergency, we have to be able to get the fire trucks, ambulances, as well as the police cars through, and we can't have anything obstructing it.
Yeah, so,
It's a zero tolerance.
So that's what so like literally they're over as far as they can. Their tire cannot be over that white line.
Correct. Yeah, and
Can it be on? Does it have to be on this side of the white line, or just to the very edge of the white? Like that's the way they do it. Like
you have to be in the shoulder on
in the shoulder.
Yeah, you cannot cross the white line and obstruct these
right.
two travel lanes at all.
And so it's on both sides of the road?
Correct. Yeah, if you look, there's a white fog line right there, and there's a white fog line right there.
So I've never been there. So
okay.
So it's rows of cars like this?
Yes.
And then there's two lanes?
Yes. And there's many.
So I mean, like this guy getting out, like you see over there, right? Like he's backing up, and he has to now hold up the whole entire road.
to parallel park into that spot. Yeah.
Right? Is that what happens?
Yeah, all day. As you can see, the congestion up ahead. People are making U-turns because they didn't find spots or they're leaving. And there's signs posted all throughout the mountain on designated areas where you can park and where you can't park. So always be aware of those as well.
Wow. I've just never been up there. I mean, like I was up there, like when you could just drive it like a normal road or whatever. But like I've never seen it like this. Like I wouldn't even know what to do.
Yeah, and when
That's very dangerous.
Yeah, and when it is crowded like this, we actually have intermittent closures. So we have to close the mountain at portions of the time of the day to like, because it's just too full, and otherwise people are just going to keep making U-turns, and then once some people leave, then they open it back up. And if you're going to the ski resort, you actually have to prepay for your parking pass, so that way when you get up there, you can show Department of Transportation or the state police up there, hey, I have a parking pass for the ski resort, because those sell out as well. It's
Really?
limited parking, so yes.
All these things that you need to know, right?
Yes.
Just to get up there. I know.
It's better to know it before you get up there and then have to turn around. So
Yeah. Wow. This is like we're gonna have like a new segment or something. You know, the information about the mountains that you know, because I
Yeah.
didn't know. I mean, I would have no idea. I would just drive up there, and then you'd be like without a paddle. You'd be like,
Yeah.
what do I do now?
yeah, it's one of our hidden treasures in the valley, and everybody wants to get up there, and we get it. But
Wow.
we're a very big city,
Holy
and a
smokes.
little mountain.
Yeah. State of emergency. Now I did see this up in the Reno because they did get a lot of
Snow.
snow, and
Yeah.
so you know.
Yeah, our troopers, some of them are working 6 days a week, and we usually work 4 days a week, 4 10-hour shifts, just to keep up with the volume, the call volume, because of crashes, black ice, the road
Yeah.
closures. I mean, I feel for our northern troopers just because this is their busy time,
Yeah, I mean this is.
especially when it's like snowing and you can't see. And it's just the dangers that are presented to a trooper while working these major incidents is like on top of just officer safety alone, just because of like people can't see you, visibility, as well as people are sliding all over the ice, and it's crazy.
You have enough things to worry about.
Yeah,
Now you have to worry about, you're going to slide down the road.
yeah.
I am thankful that I never have to see this type of stuff for the rest of my life, hopefully.
Yeah, me too.
And I have no interest in seeing this. Not that I don't think it's beautiful, but I don't wish this upon anybody. It does not look fun.
It's very stressful. It's very stressful.
And I saw this morning, not to bring it up, but in like Virginia or something. Did you see that?
Oh, it's backed up 15 hours or something,
Like,
right?
They had all the cars, and because of one accident, the road on I-95 was backed up.
Yeah, I heard they were giving out resources, like telling people what mile marker you're at. Do you need diapers? Do you need
Yeah.
water? That's crazy.
So the truckers, I didn't know this, but the truckers keep all the food in their trucks. You know, like snacks and this and that, right? And they said that people were afraid to walk up to the trucks and ask them for food because they didn't want to, think that they were attacking them.
Yeah.
But the lady was like, "Oh, we made peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. We were just waiting for people to come up and ask us for food, and nobody came."
Well, that's very nice of them.
You know?
And it's probably a good thing that they didn't get overturned and people was like, give me the food. So that's probably a good thing. So, human kindness.
But if you're traveling, especially like this, food, water,
Yes,
put
please
it in,
plan ahead. Yes.
plan ahead. You
Make
never
sure
know
your
what
cell
happens,
phone's charged.
right?
Yes.
Oh yes.
Oh, yeah. Actually, Sergeant Smacka worked this crash.
It was. It really bothers me when I see anything about not only humans but like
animals.
about animals, right?
Yeah, they're innocent.
It really bothers me, and so
Me
like
too.
I saw this on the news, and it said the first thing was animals were killed because of a fire, and I turned the news right off because I
Yeah.
didn't even want to see the video.
Hurts your
But
soul.
Johnny, you did the video anyway. Great job, Johnny. All right, let's see what we got.
The live shot.
So,
Oof, that backup.
Holy smokes.
Yeah. Sergeant Smacka called me, I think it was like 4 or 5 in the morning, and was like, hey, got some backup. I was like, oh no. So I don't know the cause of fire. I can't remember right now, but the semi-truck caught fire, and I think they had maybe 2 casualties, and I think it was cows that were in there, and the rest were okay. They were able to get the cows out and transfer them over to another
Right.
trailer, but that caused some delay. So
You're trying as hard as you can to get the road as clear as you can, as fast as you possibly can.
yeah.
Right?
Yeah, imagine trying to take cows out of the back of a semi-truck and put them in another semi-truck, all on a highway. There's a lot of moving parts. So everybody did really good on this one, though, and did it as fast as they could.
And so, sometimes things happen, but, at least we did it together, right? And so, a truck had to be ordered and all this type of stuff. And so
Yes.
it didn't take too long. And so maybe Sergeant Smacka just wanted to be back on Trooper Talk.
Yeah,
you know what I
maybe
mean?
he missed the spotlight.
Right. We'll give him a shout out because his parents still probably watch it. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Okay. What kind of cow?
Yikes. An angry one, that's what it was. So what if one of those cows, when they're taking him out of that semi, did that? That would suck.
Can you imagine?
Looks like he's okay, though.
So I'm sure this puts a smile on somebody's face. Everybody except that officer, his family, and now everybody, all his friends are probably laughing, right? 'Cause
Right,
they're like,
but
you got out of the way.
It looks,
You
it looks like he's okay, so we can crack some jokes. Like, maybe next time he'll have, like, a red cape or
Yeah,
something.
this is what I'm saying, right?
Oh,
So the camaraderie
yeah.
between you and all the other troopers, as much as there's a lot of bad things, out in the world and stuff like this, you all bond together.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so that's what makes the job fun,
Yeah,
right? And that's the part that nobody ever sees,
right,
right?
right. I mean, we gotta laugh. I mean, as long as he's okay, then we can
Right,
laugh. It's
right.
free game to laugh at each other.
Right.
Because, I mean, that is random. Like, hey, I got hit by a cow today. Like,
Right.
what?
But at NHP, you have a desk and you have things, and and everybody has together and
Yeah.
stuff like that, right?
Yeah, we're one big family.
One big family. So, we could probably watch that forever. Speed captured by LiDAR. Let's see what we got for a video for this one. What?
Oh,
Ah.
sorry.
Speed captured by. That's what live video's about. Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So, this is the new car.
Yes, our cars are now changing to silver because we are the silver state. So as our blue cars expire, we go into the silver now.
And so they have the new light bar. And so what is LiDAR? I see that the trooper is using.
Yeah, so it looks like that trooper's holding a pair of binoculars, basically. And what it is it actually has a digital display in it, and you just put it on a vehicle. You locate a vehicle from using the scope, and it tells you their exact speed that they're going. And that's why you see our PSU unit, our motor unit, they use that a lot because they always are on like top of elevated areas like the overpasses and stuff, so they can see further distance.
And so we see that the trooper obviously pulled over the car, right? And so when the trooper is approaching, he's approaching on the right-hand side, right, to maintain at least, where he's doing business, right?
Yeah, so that vehicle did exactly what they're supposed to. They pulled to the right shoulder, so we thank them for that. And that trooper approached on the passenger side to be less out of harm's way being on the driver's side. If he's on the driver's side, he'd been closer to that travel lane, so at least this way he has a little more distance.
Yeah, great car and great new light bar. You know what
Yeah,
I
those
mean?
are our LED light bars. They're very, very bright.
Yeah, that's cool. All right. I love the video. We could watch it again. Johnny, what happened? So that's cool. So he's just so the trooper's just sitting in the car, just a mile down the road.
Yeah.
It's just awesome. But here's the thing: the more people that know that you have that, is the more people will slow down.
Yeah.
Because it's not like the old day, right? Where you have the radar detector,
Yeah.
right?
We still do, but yeah.
Right. But I mean,
It's very, very accurate, the LiDAR.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. What's this one, Johnny? Air support unit.
Oh, yeah. So, Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department has their air unit, which is their own division of just people that, the officers that fly the air units. This one was actually Sergeant Boracek went on, I believe, a ride-along with them, and he got to check out the strip and see what they do. So he filmed some footage from them.
So, when it comes to the air unit, not getting into specifics, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? But we know that they really helped when it came to Trooper May,
Yes.
and landed on the road, on the highway, and all
Yes.
that.
Yeah, if it wasn't for them, medical personnel has stated that if it wasn't for the air unit that landed on the highway where we loaded up Trooper Micah May and transported him to the hospital because of the time that they saved by doing that for us and for him. It saved ultimately for other people's lives because it was able to prolong his, to make him an organ donor, as well as give his family and us the opportunity to say goodbye to him. So we're always forever grateful to them for doing that split-second decision and making it possible.
Yeah, it's amazing. And, you know, we don't talk about it enough, but the organ donating is really important. You know,
Oh, it's amazing.
Some people believe in it, some people don't. But for the ones that do believe that that's the best way, you know, we are thankful for that. You know
Yes,
what I mean?
absolutely.
he
Like,
was-
I've seen firsthand from not only Trooper May, but others. We work closely with Nevada Donor Network just because we do see so many fatalities. And the gift of life is the ultimate gift you could give somebody. So it's truly, it's bittersweet, but it's beauty and tragedy, if you want to say. So
I remember when I got my license when I was 16 years old. They asked the two questions. They said, "Do you want to be an organ donor, and do you want to vote?"
yeah.
And so I just remember, yeah, you know, I'll be an organ donor, and I've been ever since. You know, and I just,
too.
you know, you just don't think about it, but you know, I mean,
Yeah.
if something should happen, at least maybe you could
It's a-
save somebody. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
especially afterlife. Like,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
You know,
I think
teach
it's
their
a
own. But for me, yeah, that would be a beautiful gift to give somebody.
Yeah. Well, that's it already. Trooper Wellman. So let's talk about the fact that this year this is the newest edition of Trooper Talk,
Yes.
and you know, we'll see what happens, but you know, anything that is going to be very exciting is going to be really good for Trooper Talk. And so we're really excited with all the people that are going to come on, and you know, we appreciate you continuing to come on and to enlighten us about, you know, what we're doing here. I think it's important.
Yeah, and thank you so much for having me. Even just like when we make a simple post on social media, sometimes it's nice to break it down and give you the backstory on it. So very, very grateful for this opportunity. Thanks
Yeah.
for having me.
Yeah. So thank you, and we will talk next week.
Okay.
Okay, Trooper Wellman, we'll see you next week. Thank you very much. All right, we'll see you soon.
See you guys.